In no way, shape, or form is this Houston Texans roster complete. If you watch my live stream on Sunday, we saw Mr. Patrick Storm said that Bill Obrien is trying his damnedest to make a move. We're going to discuss what that move could potentially be. Man, let's cue the intro.
It's the city of the dream team. Hakeem, two-ring, Beyonce, yeah, me. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block.
Hello everybody, welcome back to 713 Houston Sports. I am your host, Mr. 713. Guys, if you like this video, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, feel free to like. Love talking football with you boys. A lot of big things coming from the channel, guys, but let's get on to the video. There is a move that Bill Obrien is trying to make, and a lot of people really don't know what it is. Some do. I'm not really allowed to say exactly what it is, but I'm gonna give you guys 4 players who I think the Houston Texans should be targeting. Well, let's start with number 1, somebody who probably would happen, but somebody who I would love if the Houston Texans did, and that is free agent defensive tackle Mike Daniels, who last played for the Detroit Lions, was a longtime Packer. Yes, he got injured last season, but what he does is he's very good against the run, and he is a goofy, he is a leader. So, you know, when you put him alongside a rookie like Ross Blacklock, you can expect great things to him to learn from Mike Daniels. As we all know, Mike Daniels was at one point, you know, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. He is a highly respected player throughout the NFL. You know, you've seen him constantly on the NFL Top 100 network. Mike Daniels is definitely a type of player that I would love for the Houston Texans to bring in. Now let's go on to the big time players. I got 3 big time. Let's start with the one that's most likely, Mr. Everson Griffen, who last played for the Minnesota Vikings, 9 sacks on the season. He has been an All-Pro. He has been a Pro Bowler. He is a leader. And at this point, when you're adding free agents, you want people who could lead. And him, alongside of jjwatt, the leadership, the experience, the football knowledge is going to be absolutely through the roof. Everson Griffen could come in and start day 1. He still can. Had 9 sacks on the season. Was very good against the run, very good against the pass, and had big sacks, you know, in the playoffs. When they beat the Saints in the divisional round last season, he had 1.5 sacks, you know, really helped change the game for the Minnesota Vikings. He's the type of player that could come in day 1 and change your locker room right off the bat, just because the type of player that he is. If you bring in an Everson Griffen, it's definitely a win now move for the Houston Texans, right? This is somebody who's going to help solidify your defense to make it one of the best defenses in the NFL. I already have high hopes for this defense. A lot of people have talked about how good the defense could be. You know, we've seen Texans Unfiltered, we've seen Texans Styles, we've seen Texans Talk. A lot of people are really hype on this defense. I am hyped for it as well. Now, number 2, somebody who I would love for the Houston Texans to bring in. A lot of people have already shut it down, but I'm going to just say it anyway. Mr. Antonio Brown, please come to the stage. If the Houston Texans manage to get an Antonio Brown, this is the type of player that, you know, that puts you on a Super Bowl caliber level with this offense, right? Because we all know he suspended 8 games. One thing that the Houston Texans have a hard issue is that their wide receivers cannot stay healthy. Last season, Will Fuller missed time. Kenny Stills missed time. You know, Brandon Cooks, you know, even though he's only missed 2 games in the past 6 years, you know, he left a lot of games injured. He was banged up, you know, last season. So you get in a fresh Antonio Brown at week 9, you know, it adds a bit of mystery because this Houston Texans offense for the first part of the season will not be complete. And what better, you know, if you're going into the slump, to know that you have help. You have a wide receiver, an All-Pro, a future Hall of Famer, somebody who could change your offense, change your team, somebody who has swagger and demeanor, somebody who hopefully could stay out of trouble. And, you know, he kind of fits what Deshaun Watson is. You know, young guys, well, not young, but, you know, guys who act young, guys who dress good, who wear the jewelry, the ice, the drip. That's the type of quarterback that Mr. Antonio Brown needs, and I think it's Deshaun Watson. Hopefully we can see that happen. Probably won't, but AB, what's stopping you, man? You know, get in the right head frame, come to Houston, potentially compete for a ring. Now, the last player I want to talk about is the least likely. It has been shot down on Twitter, but you know, you never know. And that is Mr. Davion Clowney. Davion Clowney, ladies and gentlemen, is still a free agent in the NFL. He still lives in Houston. He still trains in Houston. He lives right down the road from Will Fuller. And who knows what could happen? You know, if I'm Bill Obrien, I offer him whatever he wants and say, hey, you know, if you're here last season, we do not lose against the Kansas City Chiefs, and we go to the Super Bowl, and we have a good chance of winning that thing. Now, the only question is will, you know, Clowney listen to what Bill Obrien has to say? That's a different discussion, but Bill Obrien fits what the Houston Texans need. Somebody who's an elite game record, an elite player against the run, somebody who changes this Houston Texans team whatsoever. Clowney is a Super Bowl type of move that teams make to go and get. You know, if you happen to go get a Davion Clowney, it's all system go. The fan base is hyped. The players are hyped. Everybody's hyped around Houston. But let me know what you guys think about this list. Who do you think the Houston Texans should add? As always, guys, go Texans, go Astros, go Rockets. This is newly Mr. 713. You guys have a blessed day.